Shalom, Yasharala. I'm going to start off by giving infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Harakakadash. Double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops, a great millstone. And salutation to our fellow laborers in Yahushua, pushing his true cross to four winds. Shalom to you, brothers, making your calling elections assured by abiding this labor of love. Shalom. All right, this video I'm about to do is inspired by the beloved brother down there in South Carolina. All right. He did this video 10 months ago, but I'm just bumping into it. And when I looked at it, I got angry. My indignation got aroused. But it's righteous indignation because the Lord say the wise men in the house of mourning. In the book of Ezekiel say we sign and crime because all these abominations going on around about us. So nothing is wrong with being angry. All right. It's just that when you get angry, you got to be self-controlled. Be angry, but sin not. And the things that are going on here in America, man, it's something that make you want to kill. But right now, not the time. All right, everything is lawful, but everything not expedient. And one thing that take you there is the way this system is set up with this child support, man. It's satanic, it's immoral, all right? And it's set up to keep the Israelite man in derision, in dire straits. And when I looked at the video, I'm going through the same thing that brother went through, all right? And still going through. And I'm just going to lamb back off of it, let some of it play and chime in. And I got a couple excerpts I want to bring out, man. Hey, one thing's for sure, two things is for certain. These scriptures are universal laws. You're going to reap what you sow. You black women, preferably the tribe of Judah, you so-called black women, y'all about to get hell. Y'all got hell to play. All y'all women that put men on child support because he don't want you or because he dealt with another woman. All right, a lot of y'all don't even use it what it's for because he not taking care of his children or he running from a responsibility. I'd say, man, at least 70% of y'all don't use it for that reason. Y'all use it just because the man didn't want you or he dealt with another woman, which is lawful according to the Bible. Because your feelings hurt, your emotions is erratic, okay? Y'all be with dudes that pay the child support every week, come get their sons and daughters every other weekend. Their children love them. Him not taking care of the children is not an issue. All right? Y'all just mad because a nigga just don't want y'all. Man, it ain't no woman out here that us Israelite man just want one woman. That's why when you look at this as society and every man has the same problem, oh, I got caught cheating. There ain't no such thing as cheating in the scriptures. All right? Y'all bitches are Europeanized. Y'all Hellenized. Y'all got y'all got some nerve to think somebody want to be with just y'all. Lord, that's going against nature. Now, I will say in society for you young brothers, and I'm a young brother, I'm a young student, all right? But what I learned from my elder brothers, in this society, it ain't good to be no Rico Suave playboy either, all right? Because of prophecy's sake, man. It's just expedient. I say to just deal with one. Even you got two women, I say one that respect your mind and do right by you, all right? And just stick to this ministry, okay? All right? But for you black bitches, man, nobody want just y'all, all right? For you ones that put men on child support because your heart got broke. And I'm going to say this, if you go put a man on child support because he is a deadbeat, his daddy wasn't in his life, and that curse wasn't on him, you shouldn't have laid with him. Y'all don't know how to pick men. All right, don't go lay with the man and do everything sexual with the man. And then when you get pregnant, start demonize the man. Nah, we didn't have that problem in Israel because our dad would pick our wife. Our dad gonna make sure he pick a daughter that her father feared the Lord. And he's gonna that man was raising his daughter just like he raising his son. They feared the Lord. Y'all don't do that. Women can't pick husbands. Y'all women look at how a man looks. You know, that's the first law of attraction. I'll say that. But that's not how you pick a mate. You pick a mate according to their mindset, how they think, okay? You pick a mate according to their morals, all right? According to their integrity, according to their belief system. All right? You're a shallow. I had a movie called Shallow Hell with Jack Black. All right? And in that movie, he would just only he was simple. He was mesmerized by the beauty of a woman. But then on the movie, it would show you how that woman looked. If you looked at her from it's a spiritual movie. If you looked at that woman from a spiritual perspective, okay? And if you looked at that beautiful woman and seen how her mindset was and how her spirit was, it'll make the woman look ugly in the movie. She just looked like a fucking corpse. And then you'll have a not attractive woman in the movie, but she was sweet, tender, delicate in the movie, and it'll show you how she looked in the spiritual, from a spiritual, mental perspective that was healthy, and it'll make her look beautiful. Like on the movie, the chick he fell in love with, she was morbidly obese, but the guy did a trick on him to where his mind would only look at a person how they are on the inside, and the woman was beautiful. So when you go pick a wife, and I learned that when I came to the ministry, you got to intellectualize with a woman. You got to talk to a woman because, hey, most of these women have nothing but red signs when you get around them. They got warning signs, caution signs when you get around them. All right, if you know how to start reading things from a spiritual perspective, all right, and you won't get in these predicaments that brothers have gotten in. That's why we come and warn you. What Paul said to the Corinthians, I don't tell you this to shame you. I tell you this to warn you. Okay, you don't want to go through these things, man. It's hell. It take you to a deeper level of hell. All right, now with Yahweh Shem HaMashiach, nothing shall be impossible to us, all right? We are more than overcomers. We understand that, but wisdom going to teach you how to make better decisions. You're not going to keep making the same mistakes. So I'm about to let this video play. That's enough of me rambling, and I'm going to pull out some excerpts and some scriptures and chime in because this brother did a beautiful sit down, his own point.
And you begin to see what these people are really like. They're soulless, venomous serpents who suck. They're heartless bastards. They're cruel.
Yes,
they don't
brother.
give a fuck about you.
Fucking right.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. It's just like you want to open your arm up and suck more blood out of you like a goddamn vampire, leech. This is what this system is like, and this fucking Edomite that's got to pay. But these women, you women that do this shit, the Lord is going to get you. He is going to fuck you up.
And see, he was talking about this system in the so-called white man, how he suck you dry, he manipulates you, he put bands and yokes on you, and he'll destroy you. But then what did the brother say? You women follow suit, and this is why you do it. This is John 8:44, and that's why y'all got hell to pay. Y'all no different than him. You of your father the devil. John 8:44, you of your father the devil, and the lust of the father you would do. All right? The so-called white man oppress us, manipulate us. He got his foot on our fucking necks, and you so-called women follow suit, and you help him do it. You do the same thing you do to your male counterparts of your own nation. All right? You do what the enemy do to us. You're in bed with the enemy. And you don't think the Lord is going to visit you for these things? He was a murderer from the beginning. You women are murderers. You send men away. You send men to the dungeon. When them cops come, you call a cop because you in that man's house screaming at the top of your lungs. I done been through it. Ain't nobody about to tell me I'm tripping. I've been through it with black bitches. You in the house, they in your house. Your house. I done had black bitches come in my house, talk shit. I'm like, get the fuck out, bitch. And then I ain't going no motherfucking way. I say, bitch, get out. Then you put your hands on her. Even if you don't put your hands on her, you get physical with her to push her out your house. She call the police. The police come to your house. They'll come to your house with guns drawn. They'll come to your house pulling out guns and shit, ready to kill you. Because this bitch is of her father, the devil. And the bold not in the truth, and they are oblivious of the truth and how the Lord tell them they're supposed to conduct themselves. How women of Israel are supposed to conduct themselves. Their understanding of what a lady is taught to them from the so-called white man. All right, and you are no more than you Grecians, you Romans, you Babylonians. All right, you're heathens, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. When my last baby mama did a restraining order on me and straight up 100% lied on me. The most I killed that bitch. And then I'm so fucked up, I started feeling sorry for the bitch. But when I stepped them into reality, I'm like, nah, Them lies you put, if you'd have told that to a cop and he'd have came to my house and you'd have told him I did that stuff to you, he'll beat me or kill me, man. Fuck that. It's better you than me. And this is what's about to start happening to you, so-called black women that's rolling in that spirit. All y'all about to start biting the dust. All right? Because y'all gone too far. You of your father, the devil.
That's why I said I'm going to be very candid. And, it's a little bit emotional. But my mind was in this state. My life was...
And when the brother says a little bit of emotion, man, look, anger is the emotion. And the Lord told us we could be angry and sin not. Sin not. I understand why he's angry. But, hey, all emotions ain't bad, man. Because when us brothers in the faith saying you're being emotional, that means you're being illogical. All right. Now, when you're passionate about something, all right. For instance, Leviticus 20:13, he that lied with a man like he lied with a woman, he shall surely be put to death, right? So when we see them Bati boys, all right, we get emotional, we get angry, but that's a righteous anger. Now here in Babylon, all right, it's not expedient to carry out that commandment of putting that body boy down, but that's a righteous anger. Nothing wrong with being angry, all right? Well, that's why it's written, the wise men are in a house of mourning. And it's written in another place in the book of Ezekiel, the righteous men are sighing and crying for the abominations going around about them. They're emotional, but they have, that's a righteous indignation. That emotion is anger, because it's written in another place in Amos the 5th chapter, hate the evil and love the good. So when we see all these evil things going in the minute and righteous men being subdued, conquered, and just dealt with any kind of way, all right, it pisses you off.
In doubt, which I shouldn't have been worried about it, but I was, because we're in the flesh, man. And that show we under the curses. My life was, I was worried about it, just for the reasons that I told you, though. Not for no other shit. It wasn't no criminal shit, but Esau loves to try to make examples.
Yeah, he's talking about when he had to go to court, but it does go into the criminal aspect, because it never happened to me. My license did get suspended, but after they suspend your license, and if you still can't keep up with the payments, they will come snatch you up and take you to the dungeon. It had a guy down here that was once a part of. Actually, he was the head of. He was my elder brother when I came into ministry. He used to be the head of all of Louisiana, and before he got exiled, where he exiled himself, where it looked like he quit. I don't know what was going on with the guy, but the cops came and got him and took him to jail for not paying child support. So, yeah, I've witnessed it. And he had to stay in jail for like 6 months. It was other things. He wasn't paying tickets and shit. But one of those things was child support, to my knowledge.
This is Jeremiah 31:22. It says, how long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? Talking about what? Israel, the virgin daughter of Israel, which is the whole nation. How wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord, Yahweh, hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. How so? Women are going to be put up on a pedestal. They're going to be important. They're going to be the ones that they look to as the head, and we became the tail. They looked at as the head of the household. They put women in great esteem, and they're the same emotional, backwards thinking creatures for the most part.
And like when he say backwards thinking creatures, he's on point. That's why the elders told us, don't deal with these women, because it's a scripture in Apocrypha say, when you get a wife, get a woman according to your mind. These women not according to our mind. So when you get with a woman that is backwards thinking, and you're on a straight and narrow, you're on that narrow path that leads to salvation, you're going to have a thorn in your flesh and a vexation of spirit. Because look, hold up, I got one. This is the book of Isaiah, the 29th chapter, the 13th verse. All right. When you're dealing with a woman that is Europeanized, all right, and you're going to the old paths, what that is, Jeremiah 6 or the 16th chapter, where it say, seek for the old path, the good way, all right, that's not going to work, okay? This is Isaiah 29:13. Wherefore Yahweh said, for as much as these people draw near me with their mouth, all right, and the Lord ain't, you got to serve the Lord in word and deed, okay? And with their lips do honor me, okay? But have removed their heart from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precept of men, you see? And these women's, the men that have taught these women these precepts is the so-called white man, these Westerners, all right? Our Bible, this Bible is a Middle Eastern book written in ancient time past with Middle Eastern precepts, Middle Eastern philosophies. So we're at enmity, okay? And with that being said, if we're at enmity, how are we going to coexist? So if you're a wise man, you're not going to get yoked to a woman like that. If you're a wise man, you're going to stay from a woman like that, all right? And if you're a wise man, you're going to take the counsel of your elder brothers. That's why we say, and I didn't. When I first came in, I'm not going to be over righteous. I always heard the apostles say, leave them black women alone. They trouble. And one time I seen Elder Tahar get so mad. He say, look, if one of you brothers end up in jail behind them black bitches, we don't want to hear about it. We done told you about it. We don't want to hear shit about it. We told you. And that's how our father is. My earthly father was like that. My earthly father be like, look, I told you stop hanging with that nigga. Son, if you go to jail, don't call me. I ain't coming to get you. My daddy used to tell me that shit. That's how fathers are. That's the love of a father. The love of a mother is satanic. A black woman here in America, the love of a mother is satanic. All right, I'm going through something with my mother right now and my son. And I done wipe my hands with him. And that's my baby. Fuck that shit. That nigga wicked. All right? This is the book of Genesis, Salakia. No, I want to get the book of Sirach first. Let me get Sirach first. It's Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 23. All right? And it's written, give ear, my son, receive my advice and refuse not my counsel. So if y'all brothers that haven't seen this video, haven't seen it, check it out. And give heed to the teachings of this brother. Give heed to the advice of the elder apostles of Great Millstone when they tell us don't deal with these so-called black women. Now, there will be a time we'll be able to deal with them, but right now ain't the time. All right? Now, when the Lord judge them and start breaking their asses down and he humbles them, all right, then Isaiah 4:1 is going to get instituted, and they're going to be coming to you to take away their reproach, all right? They're going to be in the right spirit. They say, we don't even want your money no more. We'll get our own food and drink. Just let us be called by thy name, all right? It ain't the time for that. So if you deal with one of these gremlins right now, man, all you're going to do is get a bitch calling herself a bitch, telling you how bad she is and how much worried about how much money you're gonna give her, begging and shit. But she an independent bitch. I've never seen so many people boast about being independent, but always got their hand out. The black bitch is the biggest hypocrite on the planet Earth. Independent beggars. The fuck they are. All right. This is now I'm gonna get the scripture in Genesis to show why we shouldn't be getting yoked with these women. All right. All right. They're not of our same mind. All right. This is Genesis 1:26. And Yahweh said, let us make in our image, Salakia. And Yahweh said, the power said, that's what it's supposed to be. The Elohim said, let us make man in our image. Now that word image goes into, let's give them our laws, our order. All right. Let's tell them the way they should do things in the kingdom of men. All right. Let's give them rules and regulations. Let's teach them how to rear their families, what to teach their daughters and what to teach their sons. That's what they go into. And our likeness, all right, as it is in heaven, let's teach them how things are done in heaven so they could display it on earth, okay? And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over the creeping thing that creepeth up on the earth, okay? So, the Lord in the beginning gave us the way that we should live. He said, look, we're going to make a man in our image and our likeness. So he gave us order. He gave us a prescribed order that we're supposed to live by. So let's go over to the third chapter and let's get to the fall. All right. All right. This is Genesis 3:6. I'm going to start up a little higher. All right. I'm going to start at verse 4. Genesis 3 and 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, all right, and the women been rocking out like this ever since the beginning. Okay, you shall not surely die. So that's the serpent represents the so-called white man. It's not a literal snake. All right, and the woman, Eve, represents the women of the tribes, preferably the tribe of Judah, because we can't. So-called black women came out of the waters of Judah. All right. So the serpent lied to her from the beginning, like he lies to her to this day. For Yahweh doeth know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. All right, so he's manipulating, like women get manipulated today. All you got to do is spit some jive. If you're a silver-tongued devil, you could talk a woman out of their drawers. These women have no discretion in these modern times, okay? That's what the devil did to her back then. And she knew right and wrong, because when the Lord created us on the 5th day, all right, on the 6th day, he gave us law and order. So she knew what the Lord had told her, because she told the serpent, the Lord told us, don't eat of this, okay? She told the serpent that. But she was beguiled, okay? And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit and did eat, and gave also to her husband with her, and he did eat. Okay? Now this is a metaphorical, allegorical chapter. All right? It's not literal. So you got to understand what it means when it say she did eat, and it was easy on her eyes. Okay? Let me get a precept. She chose the ways of the so-called white man. Let's see what was pleasing to her eyes. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 7. All right, this is what she saw. She learned how to be carnal. All right, she learned how to be worldly. She learned how to think like the so-called white man. He was teaching her where our scriptures told her she got to be submissive to her husband and do whatever he say. All right, what was pleasing to her eyes, he said, no, baby, you can have gender equality. No, baby, you can have just as much authority as Adam, all right? Because the scriptures tell you he gave man dominion over the fish of the sea, okay? Now he say, nah, you could do things this way. He showed her an adverse way to live, okay? And this is what he gave to her. This is Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, the 7th verse, all right? He taught her how to live on a high hill and only live for pleasure and debauchery and lasciviousness. That's all women want. Nice things. That's as far as mine go. A nice car, nice house, silk sheets, Gucci purse, Birkin bag. That's they minds don't go no farther than that. Cooking, cleaning, rearing the children. These modern day bitches don't think like that. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 7. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. All right. Let's be carnal. Let's be fleshly. Ain't nothing wrong with having nice things. All right. But that shouldn't be what it say? The love of money is the root of all evil. On that vibration is satanic. All right. He taught her how to be evil. This is the love of money, the love of luxury. All right. This is how these women think. All they think about is comfort. Okay. They think like this, and the so-called white man, this is his philosophy, what we're reading. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered, all right? Let's live a luxurious life, a luxurious life, and let's do whatever it takes to achieve that. Let's get rich or die trying, all right? Let none of us go without the part of our voluptuousness. Now, let me get that word voluptuousness, the definition for voluptuousness, all right? Bear with me. Voluptuousness. All right, voluptuousness. The quality of being soft, curved, and sexually attractive. You see? Promiscuous. That's all it is, just live a life of pleasure. Okay? That's all they want to do. Let's get some synonyms for voluptuousness. Luxurious, sensual, sensuous. You see what I'm saying? It's all about being carnal, fleshly, all right? Providing pleasure through gratification of the senses. That's what he taught our people to do. The Lord told us to be spiritual. When he gave us that law and order, the law was spiritual. It tells you that in Romans the 7th chapter. But he taught us, our women, how to be carnal, like him. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens. Let us leave signs of our joyfulness. All right? So let us pass laws to show people to live like us. Let's do as the Romans do. In every place, for this is our portion, and this, and our lots is this. And since the so-called white man came into power, he got those tokens everywhere. All right? Do as thou wilt. That's what it is in America. You want to be a homo in America? Let's do it. You want to be a ghetto gagger in America? You can do it. Okay? And we're gonna pass laws to protect you doing it. Okay? And that's what that fruit in that garden was, okay? That's what that fruit in the garden was when she said it was a fruit to be desired, all right? She was taught a new philosophy, an adverse philosophy to what the Most High had taught her, what our great king had taught her, okay? And that's why when you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 26, that's why it says this. I suppose that therefore it is good for the present distress, I say, that it is good for a man to be, for so to be. And what he was saying a man should be, a man should not deal with a wife. And Paul's writing this in ancient Rome, okay? We're under the Romans ruling over us. You got to know what that pleasant distress was, okay? The present distress when we were in captivity and the so-called white man put his philosophies on our people and our people was doing as the Romans do. So Paul said, because of the present distress, it is good for a man not to be with the woman. And why? Because the woman was living according to Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. She didn't have a mind according to the Lord's mind. Her mind was according to the Romans. And this is what he said. Are you bound to a wife? Seek not to be loose. So if you come into the ministry and you're already married, if that woman is pleased to dwell with you, don't kick her away. All right? The Lord told us to get married. A man leaves his mother and his father and cleave to his wife. So we're not about breaking up a marriage. But if she won't go the way that you would have her, and she's a hindrance to you serving the Lord, yes, then you got to make a decision, to each his own. All right? Art thou loose from a wife, seek not a wife, okay? He says, seek not a wife because of the present distress. Now, let me get this article and let's go into what that present distress is. Okay? What was that present distress? The present distress was our people were Hellenized during the time that the Romans was in Jerusalem and throughout Asia Minor. And we were living according to the ways of the Grecians. Okay? So, I'm going to get this article. This was the present distress. And the article starts off as what's the name of this article? All right, the name of this article is it comes from the Wingard's Institute for Catholic Research, okay? And it says in the name of the article, the status of women in Greek, Roman, and Jewish society. All right, now watch this shit. They tell the truth. The devil tell the truth in this article. Now let's start with Judaism. This was our way of life, all right? What they call Judaism was us living according to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the law of Moses. That's what the so-called white man called Judaism, all right? And I don't know why the fuck he do that, all right? Moses was a fucking Levite, but they call the white man calls all of the Israelites Jews. Nah, man, you got 10 other tribes, all right? And really, you got 11 other tribes. The southern kingdom was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's why it was called the southern kingdom. But Judah was the fourth son of Jacob, and he was just one tribe. And he had nothing to do with giving out the law, all right? The Levites did that, all right? But that's neither here nor there. That's a topic for another day, all right? Judaism in the 1st century emerged from the Oriental, and the Oriental means east. All right, that don't mean gooks or Chinese. All right, that just means east. All right, from the Oriental patriotic tradition. See, we live in our customs and culture is a patriarch society, not a matriarch. Medea running a family is a matriarch society. All right. Paw running a family is a patriarch society. Well, Paw say goes. Okay. But here in this modern society, most families in our community, all right, is a matriarch society where Medea run everything. Okay. And we had a patriotic tradition in which women were considered the property of the men. Yes, your woman is a possession. All right, that's biblical. All right, he that getteth a wife, getteth a possession. In the book of Sirach. Let me bag that up. Let's bag that up with scripture. All right, and in these modern times, in the present distress, all right, a woman gonna say, I ain't no fucking slave. All right. Where that precept at? Bear with me. All right. It's Sirach 36 and 24. All right. And it's written, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help likened to himself. And when they say a help likened to herself, her mind is according to your mind. It's like that woman on the movie Coming to America. Whatever you like. What do you like to eat? Whatever you like. All right, that's a good wife. That's who would want something contrary to that. All right, America, fuck your mind up. All right, that movie was satanic. Like, why would he leave a woman and say, I'm gonna do whatever you like to go get a bitch fucking another man already, you commit adultery, and she's not gonna take every order that you give her. Man, that's what America does to you, called evil good and good evil. All right? The movie was funny, but when you see the witchcraft and the sorcery in it, where he was shitting on Eastern customs and uplifting Western customs, Coming to America was fucked up. Okay? Sirach 36 and 24. He that give a wife beginning a possession and a help likened to herself and a pillar of rest. And a pillar of rest means she's a delight to you. All right? She don't argue with you. She do what you tell her to do. All right? She's find out things that you like and she try to accommodate you. She try to make your life easier. Okay? That ain't happening over here. You can hang that shit up. So when we go back to this article, all right, it says that when you get a wife, I just brought that precept up to bag that out. That's our ways and customs. All right? He say women were considered the property of men. Yes, sir. Anything else is uncivilized with no rights. Okay? And when they say no rights, all right, they talking about the right to go out and gad abroad, the right to have decision making. No, man. No, a woman should be at home rearing the kids, all right? The white man, that's him and his wine. That's that fruit, that forbidden fruit that he gave to Eve. Look, he don't give you no rights. You can't make the decision to do this or that. All right, she didn't have to make a decision to do that, do this or do that. A king is going to make sure his wife have whatever she want. He's going to spoil his wife to do what she say. She don't need to be getting into the affairs of war, the affairs of decision making. For what? That's not her lot. She wasn't created to do that. Okay? No role in society except childbearing. Yeah, that's all I want my wife to do. If I was able to get paid enough money, if I was a millionaire, my wife gonna stay at home with my children. She ain't going out and work. And she's gonna teach my children the things I tell her to teach my children. All right? That's the way life should be. All right, here in America, you know, most men don't get paid that much money where a wife can stay at home. You got accounts where a lot of men do, but for the vast majority, that's not an option. Okay? All right? No role in society except childbearing and no education. Now, that's a lie. All right? We taught our women the law, statutes, and commandments of Moses. All right? We taught them right from wrong. Our wife knew you couldn't eat this. Our wife knew you couldn't touch that. Our wife know when she was on her administration, she was unclean. All right, that's all she needed to know. The do's and don'ts that the Lord say a woman should do. She didn't need to know nothing else. All right, she go out there, prune the garden, till the men till the ground. You go sow the seeds. When the harvest come in, you go get the fruit off. You go cut it up and cook a meal. You know, all right. In the testamental period, Judaism was, however, affected by the encounter with Hellenism. That's when the so-called white man came and overtook us. Okay, you see, this is why Paul said, if you lose for a woman, don't get one, because our women start getting Hellenized. You got to read Greek Hellenization. All right, I'm pressed for time. I might have to just sit down on it. Affected is encountered with Hellenism. So when Hellenism came, what did it teach? The so-called white man taught gender equality, give a woman more rights. She could do this, she could do that. That's a philosophy of the so-called white man. And when Paul was saying, if you got these women all have these Hellenistic mindsets, and you in this ministry, it's best you don't even fuck with them, because they're not going to submit to you and be your property. Okay. This produced a double effect. Some schools with Judaism reacted negatively. All right. And you should have. All right. Why are you going to act negatively? Because when you get the white man's philosophy in you, now you're going to start bucking the system. All right. The teachings of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob is getting thrown out of the window. The teachings of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is getting thrown out of the window. So why are you going to get joined and marry a woman like that? All right. All y'all going to be doing is arguing, fussing, and fighting. Attempted to reinforce the subordination and seclusion of women in order to safeguard the purity of Judaism. No, to safeguard the purity of the family unit, nigga. Don't try to demonize the way things should be and make it and put a black spot on it. No, you're right. To keep the purity of our nation, to keep our nation holy, righteous, all right, and set apart from you heathens. That's what it was supposed to do. That's what they were talking about doing, against the influence of Hellenism. And what is Hellenism? Let me get it. You know, I didn't want it to be too long, but that's what's going to look like it's going to happen. All right, this is what Hellenism is. All right, let's get it. It's no different than Westernization. All right, Hellenism and Westernization, all right, is one of the same. All right, that was just the ancient word for it. Hellenism is, in practice, primarily centered around polytheistic and animistic worship. Devotees worship the Greek gods, which include 12 Olympians, divinities, spirits of nature. No. It got a better definition than that. All right. Let me type in Hellenization. That definition on point, but let me type in Greek Hellenization. It's going to be a little bit more thorough. All right. It's going to be a little bit more thorough. So bear with me. All right, here we go. This is the one I want right here. Okay, let me see if it got another third one. All right, here, what is Greek Hellenization? All right, this is what it is. All right, Hellenization or Hellenism refers to the spread of Greek culture. All right, Greek culture is at enmity with Israelite culture. They're night and day. Is adverse. Satanism means to be an adversary. Is adverse to the ways of the Israelites, okay? That had begun after the conquest of Alexander. So when Alexander conquered all of those lands, he conquered our people. He conquered Jerusalem, Judea, all right? And what he did, he put his philosophies on our people. His generals after him. The Greek, Alexander the Great in the 4th century BC, all right? One must think of the development of the Eastern Mediterranean really in two major phases, okay? What is an example of Hellenization? Let's bring that out. Hellenization is a broad concept that can include writings or speaking in Greek, adopting Greek forms and ideas in art, literature, creating a synthesis between Greek and non-Greek cultures. And that non-Greek culture that conformed and converted to that was our people, all right? And when our people conformed to that way, if you still was living according to the Israelite fashion, you didn't want to have nothing to do with our people that conformed to that way. And since I'm here, let me type in Westernization, all right? This is the modern word for Hellenization, all right? Western... How I spell this shit? Western, no. Salakia, I'm not the best at spelling. You know, I admit my shortcomings. Westernization. It spelled it for me. All right. Here we go. Westernization. The process by which a country or society adopts the customs and institutions that are said to characterize the Western world. All right. Greek Hellenization, Westernization is the same thing. Our women are westernized. That's how you would break it down in the modern times. During biblical times, Paul said, don't get married because these women are Hellenized, Westernized, all right? So you're not going to have peace in your house. You're going to have thorns in your flesh, all right? All right? In the diaspora, this was often impossible. See, and that's what happened. The Corinthians was a part of the diaspora. I mean, the Israelites went throughout Asia Minor and they were living in Corinthia, all right? So, when it came to the institution of marriage, you didn't want to deal with a woman, all right, that was taken away with their Hellenistic thought process. The Jews people were living with Hellenistic society. They were Jewish women who had acquired wealth, education within society. You see, when it came to our society, all of the wealth was governed by the men. All of the business decision was governed by the men. The education was taught by the men, all right? And men taught women only what women needed to know. They didn't know the affairs that a king would do to rule his realm. That was none of the woman's business, okay? But during Greek Hellenization, that's what Eve saw. Eve saw that the power that the serpent was giving her to do what? Raise her heel against her man. And that's why these women in these modern times use the system to do what? Put us on child support, all right? To get us to do things that we're not naturally going to do. Such women were beginning to have a voice in business and politics. You see, amongst our people, that's not happening. No woman is not going to be in no position of power. That's why Paul wrote in 1 Timothy, the 2nd chapter, a woman should not usurp authority of a man. A woman shouldn't be dealing with the affairs of men. Many Jews lived their everyday lives more according to the more Hellenistic society than those of Torah and Talmud, which is basically the same, all right? The Torah and the Talmud is something they did in the 300 AD to, what happened when I read up on the Talmud? The Talmud is just basically the Torah, the Old Testament writings, all in one, all right? But we all know the Torah and Tanakh. The Torah is the 5 books of Moses. The Tanakh is the writing of the prophets, okay? Greek philosophical and theological ideals began to be taken up by Jewish philosophers and theologians. So, and hey, let's show it. This is what our people started doing, all right? Our people start adopting the ways of the heathen. This is First Maccabees. They were Hellenized. First Maccabees 1 and around, is it 14? Bear with me. Okay, it's just what that clip said. This is First Maccabees 1 and 11. And in those days, they went out, Israel, wicked men. Now, let's see what made these men wicked, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So that's what our women did. They went and made a covenant with the heathen, and let's see what they started doing. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do at the ordinance of the heathen. They adopted the ways of the heathen. All right. And that's why the circumcision did not deal with the Hellenistic our Hellenistic people. And that's why Paul say you don't want to get a wife with that mindset. You don't want to pick a wife that's thinking like that. All right? All you want to do is have hell in your household. All right? Now let me go back to this article. All right? Now let's see how if you would have got a woman from ancient Greece, how her mind was going to, how her thought pattern was going to be. And this is why Paul told us, it'll be wise if you lose for a woman, seek not to be bound, because this is the crop of women you was going to have to pick from. All right. Now we seen how it was supposed to be amongst the Jews. Now let's read about women in ancient Greece. All right. And that was the present distress that you read about in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, when he said, because of the present distress, my son, it'll be wise not to get married to none of these bitches. That's what he was basically saying. Because these bitches have the mindset of the so-called white man. All right. Women in ancient Greece. And this was the mindset that these women had. All right. I'm going to go to the second paragraph. The first one ain't all that. It don't give you much. Scholars have long debated whether the earlier social and religious structures were matriarchal. See, matriarchal mean a woman running shit. Matriarchy has many shades of meaning, from a society in which the roles of men and women are equal to one in which women rule and men are subordinate. You see? So that's what the mindset of the women in Corinthia. Corinthia was a wicked ass city. That's why Paul was telling the Corinthians, look, man, don't go marry these bitches. I think the Corinthians worship Apollos. Don't quote me on it. They was just, the women were off. Okay? That's why Paul said don't go, because of the present distress, don't go marry these women. And that's how it is in America. All right? That's how it is in these modern times. A westernized woman, she's all about a matriarchy. She's all about feminism. It's all about what I want and what you need to do for me. All right? That's not how a lady of the Most High would conduct herself. At least amongst the heavenly hierarchy of ancient Greece goddesses, at first predominated. Hesiodus Theogony, which was composed around 700 BC, described that the shift in power from the earlier goddesses, whom he associated with passion and evil forces, to the rational, heroic male god Zeus. That's going into something else, though, all right? But it shows you that in the Greek society, women was all about matriarchy, and you could liken that with feminism, all right? And their role was all about being equal to the man. So, when you go back to 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, the 26th verse, that's why Paul said this. I suppose, therefore, it is good for the present distress. That was the present distress. That was the present distress, because he's telling men, he's giving men advice about dealing with women, and women advice about dealing with men. And he said, because of the present distress, I say it's good for a man so to be, that if you are loose from a wife, seek not to be bound from a wife. All right? Seek not to be bound to a wife. And that's why he said, don't get bound to a wife, because they thought like our enemies. And that's why you should leave the so-called black woman alone. All right? This is 2 Maccabees. This is another reason. All right? This is 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 32. And if you don't believe us, deal with her. And if you get one pregnant, you're going on child support. And if you used to being a man that come in anytime you want, go and come, that's going to stop. She's going to tell you got a curfew. And you be like, bitch, you got me fucked up. You're going to tell me when I can come in and out this house. And then she's going to go put you on child support. She's going to lay her tentacles in you and control you. I'm telling you. She's going to make it hard for you. This 2 Maccabees 4:13. Now such was the height of Greek fashions. That's what our women are in. American fashion, American way of life. An increase of heathenish manners. That's what Hellenism was about. All right? Gender equality is a heathen manner. Celebrating holidays is a heathen manner. You in this ministry and a woman tell you, what you gonna do for my birthday? I ain't doing shit for your birthday, woman. I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate the deal with the ways of the heathen. All right? And you talking about this your woman, she gonna be mad. Then she gonna go find a man that will do. She'll melt. She'll be angry that you didn't do nothing with her for her birthday, and then she go to work and some dude tell her happy birthday, and then what she gonna do? She gonna fuck with that dude. These women are simple. All right, they're weak. Through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, all right, he conformed in the Hellenistic way, that ungodly wretch and no high priest, all right? And during that time, he was doing whatever the so-called white man told him to do to subdue his people and have our people conforming to the heathen way of life, okay? That's why you shouldn't fuck with these black women, because they have that mindset. You know what? Let me play some more of that clip of the brother. because he gonna go into that topic. All right, he gonna go into that topic.
Emotional, backwards thinking creatures for the most part, not in every case, but they can be very easily approached and appeased with money, with trinkets, with gifts,
Yes.
with sex, with promises.
Yeah, they don't fear the Lord. All right, he right. A woman, man, if a dude, if LeBron James catch your woman, I don't care who you niggas is to think your shit don't stink and think what your woman won't do. If your woman is out on a business trip or out somewhere with her girls, and LeBron, and she in America, like I said before, like I always tell brothers, if a woman listen to hip hop and R&B, you can't trust her, straight up. LeBron James or Morris Chestnut, one of the so-called black celebs that look good to women, catch your woman and isolate her, and they're at a bar drinking, your woman is gonna fuck him. Listen to this brother.
Wealth with other things, they can be bought off. Is it going back? Same thing as going back to the garden. If they think they can be wiser than you, they will better deal your ass as fast as you can blink. I was listening the other day to I think it was Corey Holcomb was talking with some guys, and he was saying they was talking about the Stephen A. Smith from ESPN with Molly Querim, who used to be the wife of Jalen Rose, right? And they was saying they was basically saying that they believed that Stephen A. Smith was smashing Molly. That's the reason why Jalen Rose and her broke up. Corey Holcomb began to say that he don't care who you are. If your wife or your lady worked with a rich man, he can easily smash your wife.
Yes,
and then
brother.
He was taking a poll and asking people what they thought.
I wholeheartedly believe that. Now, if a woman say that, they're going to say no, but all of them will. If she a black woman and she listen to hip-hop or R&B, she'll do it. She grew up in America, she'll do it. I assure you that. Now, our women that are cross in these third world countries, they have more integrity than the women here, all right? But the women here in America, they would do it. If they were on a rich man and he could offer them something to make their life better, all right? And he has prestige, he's charismatic, so on and so forth. He's famous, all right? I'm talking about on lower levels. It could just be a boss at her job that got the power to give her a raise and stuff, man. They gonna do it. I'm gonna show you why they're gonna do it. I'm gonna prove it. This is the main reason they're gonna do it. Let me get that scripture in Judith. All right. This is the main reason they would do it. All right. You can't trust them. You can't trust a Babylonian woman. This is the book of Judith. It's not personal either. This ain't no He-Man Woman Haters Club. This is spiritual warfare, is a mental warfare. You got to learn how to be a psychoanalyst. You have to learn about philosophies and the mindset and the way the human brain works. The so-called white man, he's done that. He got it down to a science. All right. Us men, we're battling this man from a spiritual perspective. All right. So the Lord has, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So we know the wine that he put in our women. So we know the do's and don'ts, what to do in the society and what not to do. And we know the devil and his schemes. We know through the spirit, all right, and some brothers through trial and error, that you can't trust a woman that's been educated here in America and been taught the philosophies of an American. She's promiscuous, she's simple, all right. They all and thirst after men and hire guard with a lot of money, all right. And a man with a lot of money and just a little bit of mouthpiece, he could have him carried away into his bed chambers. And if you don't know that, if you don't think like that, my girl ain't like that. Oh, not my girl. You're a damn fool. All right, you simple. All right, this is Judith 8:4. So Judith was a widow in her house for 3 years and 4 months. All right, and this is who's the book of Judith. Judith is written about. She was an honorable woman. Okay, I'm gonna skip down to verse 8. And there was none that gave her an ill word. Now, let's see why nobody gave her an ill word. As she feared Yahweh greatly. All right, these women don't know the ways of Yahweh. All right, wisdom wasn't imparted to them. So they don't have the fear of Yahweh. And when you don't find the fear of Yahweh, anything goes. If a woman don't fear God, and wise men fear God, we know he'll kill us. We read Acts the 5th chapter. You lie to the Most High, he'll kill you. You had that prophet in the book of Kings that the Lord told him to don't eat or drink on his journey, and he stopped and ate and drank. The Most High killed him. We know the Lord will kill us for disobedience. Okay? A woman don't have that discretion. So if you don't have the fear of the Lord, you would do anything. You put in the wrong predicament, you would do anything. All right? This is Sirach 37 and 12. Okay? And it's written, be you continually with a godly man. And it's the same thing. If you want a woman, you want a woman that fears the Lord, okay? Whom thou knowest keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind. It's very hard to find that in this society, man. All right, these women are carnal, they're fleshly. All right, they worry about what their girlfriend gonna say, what their mom and sister gonna say about them. All right, they don't care. They don't give two shits about the commandments of the Most High. And will sorrow with thee if thou miscarry. Now, if you can't find a woman that's according to your mind and fear the Lord, you shouldn't be yoked to her. All right. Now, I'm not gonna be over righteous in this society. You can find a woman that'll respect your mind. She don't have to be all into the scriptures and stuff. All right. If you can find a woman that respect your mind and fear you, you know what I'm saying? So be it. Deal with her. Because if you get a good woman, that means the Lord is giving her to you. All right. They say a wicked woman is reserved for a wicked man. So if you got a wicked woman and the Lord haven't got that bitch away from you, you got to check yourself and see if you're a wicked man and switch up. Okay. But they don't have women in this society according to your mind that fear the Lord like that. So if a woman don't fear the Lord like that, no matter what she say out of her mouth, it ain't nothing she won't do. All right? It ain't no transgression she won't break. All right? This is Sirach 29. She'll put you on child support. She'll call her brothers to come beat you up. You make her mad enough, she'll go fuck a nigga and get in his head and try to make the nigga go kill you. All right? That's how these bitches get down, man. You can't trust these Babylonian women. Sirach 29 and 14. An honest man is surety for his neighbor, but he that is impudent will forsake him. You see? So like the brother was saying, Jalen Rose, he made millions. He a man of prestige. Okay? No matter how good he did to his wife or took care of her, she's not an honest woman. Okay? If he was sure to his woman, took care of her, all right, a woman in America is impudent, but he that is impudent will forsake him, okay? A man that's impudent don't care about his neighbor or his woman, and a woman that has an honest man that is surety for her, she will forsake him for something that she think is better, okay? Forget not the friendship of thy surety, for he has given his life for thee. All right? And women here in America, they don't give a fuck about a man that take care of them. All right? That do right by them. Okay? That supply their needs. Okay? That protect them. All right? That comes and be surety for them. These women ain't like that. You could do all those things of above. She think you dealt with another woman, all bets are off. She your enemy. She gonna do whatever she thinks she could do to destroy you. Okay? She don't know the ways of the Lord. She don't know the commandments of the Lord. So when you know women are like that, don't fuck with them. Don't get yoked to them. Let me say that. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Established, look, we friends with benefits. We ain't getting, you tell them the truth. Look, I deal with multiple women. I ain't looking for nothing serious. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm the wrong guy. I've learned I tell a bitch the truth now. I tell them the truth. And I don't just call women bitches, but most of these women is bitches. It is what it is. I don't disrespect ladies. A lady carry herself in a respectful manner, respect the fashion. I don't call them out any names. I don't deal with them ill. But when I see I'm around a bitch, I don't show no respect either. Fuck that shit. Okay? And it's written, a sinner will overthrow the good estate of his surety. And that's what a black woman would do. She could have a good thing. She could have a man doing right by her. She could have a man that really loves her, that's going out of his wits for her. But if something better come along, she jumping on that train. That's what the brother just got through saying. I've witnessed it. Okay? And he that is of an unthankful mind will leave him in danger that deliver him. All right? And that's the spirit of the so-called black woman. All right? Jalen Rose woman went and dealt with a man that probably could have helped her career, help her further her career. Okay? That's what happens, man. That's what you got to pick from here in America, all right? And I'm going to leave off on this scripture, all right? The book of Sirach, not the Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus is a beautiful book for you to get game with what we call wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, all right? It's a beautiful book, all right? This is our Sirach 26 and 11, all right? It teaches you how to conduct yourself and how to handle yourself in various situations, not only with women, just in life, with fucked up bosses, a mother that's disrespectful to you, all right, foes, teaches how to govern ourselves. Sirach, the whole Bible does that though, but it gets thorough. Sirach 26 and 11, watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee, okay? And if you're dealing with a woman here in America that's Americanized, Westernized, Hellenized, all right, when she go do her thing, put you on child support, or do something malicious to you, you shouldn't marvel at it, especially if you got elder brothers telling you what's going to happen before it happened. I wish you would act like you're shot, okay? If she a black woman here in America, anything goes. Until the Lord brings forth that judgment on them, let me get that again. Until this happens, you're wasting your time. This is Salakia. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 30. Until this happens, you're wasting your time. Proverbs 20 and 30. The blueness of a wound cleanses away evil. And that's what's going to happen during Jacob's trouble. All right, these women are going to get their ass handed to them. They're going to get judged. Lord, Micah 7:10 said they're going to become as the mud on the streets. All right, that prideful spirit going to get crushed. All right? They're going to starve to death. They're going to get raped to death. All right? They want to be promiscuous and show their bodies off. All right, the Lord going to give them that. He's going to give them up to their sensual desires, their voluptuousness. All right? He's going to send them stormtroopers in. They're going to take them and have their way with them. Okay? The blueness of a wound cleanses away evil. So do stripes the inward parts of the belly. So until the Lord discipline them and kill that pride, until that happens, if you go try to deal with a woman in this society, do it at your own risk. When something bad happened, fucked up happened, I'm going to say like Elder Tahar said, we don't want to hear about it. You've been warned. You've been given wise counsel. These black women in this society, and all the tribes fucked up, don't get it twisted. But the Latin tribes, most of them grew up with their fathers. They have a sense of order, They fucked up. They to the left, but nothing like the black woman, man. They the worst. They the worst thing walking on 2 feet. All right? A black woman and a black man. A black nigga that want to be a thug and westernized, he the worst thing walking. And a black woman is worse than him. All right? So with that, I want to get infinite honors. I don't want Rogers out was edifying to the hearers. I want to get infinite honors to our Heavenly Father and our great King, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Howard Kakadash, double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. And salutations to my fellow laborers in the Mashiach Yahweh Shah. Kwam Yasharala, Abba Abba.